Hey, welcome everybody to, let's see, I guess I'm going to call it week 9 of Sparkyz cast against Samsung Khan. This is a pretty quick rematch. We played them just a couple weeks ago. But that was in round 1, and this is round 2. What's different? Not much. There might be appearances by a couple of the modified maps later on in this set, but this map is just going to be regular old match point. This is going to be Type B versus JangBi, Sparkyz versus Samsung Khan once again, and that is Type B. There's the red Zerg in the southwest, and we have JangBi up in the northeast, and I didn't catch his color quite yet. It looks like it's blue. Okay, so the blue Protoss in the northeast is JangBi. JangBi is just totally struggling this season, just 1-5 this whole season. In the previous matchup with Sparkyz, he played against Yarnk, who got one of his 2 wins so far this season. Yarnk being able to take out JangBi. Let's see if Type B can do the same. And pretty interesting going for choosing to field a Zerg on match point, I think. Although, you know, just my impression of it is that it's a standard, it's just a required PvP map, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But Sparkyz decided to field a Zerg, and actually, looking at the statistics, it's pretty close to about 50-50 in the ZVPs that have been played. So far, not too much going on. It looks like some sort of 12 build from Type B. We'll see exactly how it goes after that, or pretty soon, I mean. And JangBi is going, I assume, for a Forge First Fast Expand, since he put his pylon over there near his natural expansion. It looks like it is going to be a 12 hatch for Type B, so he's going early economy. But he should be in pretty decent shape. I don't think, you know, if JangBi does go for that Forge First, he shouldn't have too much pressure to be able to put onto Type B early on. Sorry, yeah, I wanted to apologize for the lateness of this video. This match was played, let me see, I think on, December 5th, so this is a couple weeks late, I suppose. I've been kind of sick for the past 2 weeks, so I haven't really done many videos except for that roundup against SKT1 that I just posted. I probably will be spoiling that match during the course of this match, so if you haven't watched that, just watch that. Just a single video wrapping that up, or catch that series. It was a cool series. And I don't even know if JangBi has put down his Forge. Now that I looked at his base, he might not have even put down the Forge once he saw the 12 hatch. That's pretty interesting. It looks like Type B is actually going super aggressive in his economy and putting down a 3rd hatchery very quickly. Okay, no, he does have a Forge. I guess he did put the gateway before the Forge first. That's an interesting little variation he did. He saw the 12 hatch and just decided that he's not going to be in any trouble. And yeah, just waiting to put down that Forge. Still no cannons, too. The first Zerglings probably will be popping. There we go. A couple of Zerglings, but yeah, it looks like JangBi's sticking with just 1 cannon at the moment. And if it's just going to be 2 Zerglings, that's a pretty wise decision. I'd really prefer if Type B went a little bit more aggressively and tried to force JangBi to push a couple more cannons. That's just letting JangBi do whatever he feels like at the moment. But getting a quick 3rd base is going to help him out, so that'll be alright. A lair already in production for Type B, so I'm expecting probably a pretty quick Mutilus Grass, and hopefully Type B is going to be able to get that done. I mean, he's been one of the most consistent players on Sparkyz for round 1. I gave him the an honorable mention, I guess, not quite the MVP, but I like what he's been doing, and I think that this is a match that he should win. JangBi is a very good player, and he's a player that I like a lot, but he's really been suffering this season. He's been suffering lately in general, I suppose, and versus Zerg is I think his worst matchup. About 50%, but still, you know, not the best that he can do. Although if he does make it up to High Templars, we all know that he can make some incredible Storm plays. JangBi, of course, the winner of the Pimpus play from, I can't remember, back in the day with all of those Psionic Storms. Very pretty. Anyways, Spire is going up for Type B. It looks like a second cannon being put down, but that's kind of far away from that mineral line. There should be the Mutalisk should be able to get back behind there and do a little bit of damage if JangBi doesn't put another cannon a little bit closer. Although he is building some Corsairs, that's going to be interesting to see if he's able to keep those Corsairs alive from the first Scourge that come out. If he's going to be able to maintain air dominance off of 3 bases, Type B. If he gets all 3 of those gases up and running, he will be able to produce a ton of Mutalisks. So JangBi really needs to make his Corsairs count, I suppose. Type B sacrificing an Overlord for his for a little bit of scouting information, and I think he is going to be able to see that second starport coming, or excuse me, Stargate coming up, and some Zerglings just ran by those 2 cannons over the natural expansion. So he's got about 4 or 5 Zerglings hanging out in JangBi's base. I don't know if they're going to be able to do too much. There's 2 Zealots and a Dragoon back there. But at the very least, he is going to be able to get a little bit of scouting information, and you know, maybe if he's lucky, he'll be able to pick off 1 or 2 probes, but not going to be able to do the huge economic damage that maybe he had hoped for. But regardless, it's still making JangBi focus on something else for a bit, which is always good. The first Corsair is out. I don't know if the second one is out yet or not, but 2 Corsairs, JangBi is definitely wanting to take air superiority in this, and so I'm assuming Type B is just going to build a ton of Scourge to try to counteract this, or, you know, I don't know, maybe he can make a switch into Hydralisks at some point, but I don't know if he has, like, excuse me, still getting over the sickness. It'll go away soon. Sorry, I was trying to say that, you know, I don't know if he has the hatcheries required to make a complete switch into Hydralisks or something like that. You know, 1 more base and 1 or 2 more hatcheries would be very beneficial if he was going for that. But so far, it looks pretty standard. I think he will be trying to get some Mutalisks in play, although they are not going to be very successful. JangBi's already got about 5 or 6 Corsairs, and that's right around the magic number where you can just sort of melt Scourge. You just got to be super courageous, and anytime you see Scourge coming your way, just hold position and wait for those Scourge to die as they make their approach, and he's running his Corsairs right into a group of Scourge. It looks like it is going to be some sort of Hydralisk build. A couple of those Scourge did land, but I don't think any of the Corsairs died. A quick little attack there by, oh my god, that's bad. Oh my god, 3 Overlords going down right away. All of Type B's Overlords were just hanging out over, I think it was just 1 Spore colony. And that's just not enough defense against 6 Corsairs, and plus all those Overlords are clumped up, so they were all taking splash damage. So 3 Overlords going down very quickly. I think only 1 Corsair lost in that, so Type B, you gotta keep your Overlords somewhere. You gotta spread them apart, get a little defense, but not quite a terrible damage. It is looking like it's going to be a pretty much all-in Hydralisk attack coming up in the near future. And this is definitely before any Templar Archives is out, and definitely before Storm is researched. It looks like he's actually going for Reavers first, and the Robotics support bay is up, so the first Reaver should be coming out in the near future, which might be able to defend pretty well against these Hydralisks, because despite having a number of routes to go between the 2 bases on this map, inevitably you are going to reach a choke point right around the natural expansion. If you can keep a Reaver alive right around there, you might be able to the Reaver might be able to just bomb anything that's coming up through those choke points, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm still working on getting into the flow of commentating again. But let me take a look at this real quick. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a break right now, and I'll catch you in part 2.